So we're hoping we can get companies to start taking some of their younger talent, get them into this, and suddenly we have a pipeline of managerial candidates.
Mr. Gregg.
Good morning,
Mr. Kingman.
That's awesome.
Loving that time, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That is,
I love it
I've got
too.
the music from the middle
Thank
crew
you.
here. Get this thing going.
Thank you.
but yeah, sadly, your people are going to have to hear that all over again in this show. So
That's good. It's a good message that people need to hear.
well, yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, I think we forget at the pace at which we're running this community.
Good morning, Chris, Andy. How are we? How's things in Yucca? Getting any rain out that way? Boy, we sure need this rain, don't we?
It feels fantastic too. It's pretty warm out.
It's nice.
It's
nice.
been so damn dry, we're gonna be hunting turkey instead of deer. So, if this keeps up.
Sure.
It's gotten so dry the water was dehydrated.
That's right.
Powdered water.
That's it. Great. We got Mike from the Chamber of Commerce and Tim from the Fairgrounds. So we got a full house here today.
I like the new hat.
New hat. This is a new old hat. I've had
And
this
I gotta
one.
make a hat band for him too.
Yeah, you do.
This is my Sunday go to meeting hat. A couple days early, but you know.
Well, you have to warm it up.
Well, Mr. Mike, how's things at the Chamber of Commerce?
We're busy as can be. It's a great busy too.
You've got some exciting new projects here.
We do. You want to start with the exciting new project, and then we'll move to the events of what's going on?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, for those that don't know, we have teamed up with our local community college, the chamber here, and the SBDC, which is housed at the community college, to create a management training series. And this training series is basically 12 different classes that will go throughout the year. What we're really, our piece that we're looking for is we want to start a pipeline of potential managers. So if you've got young, talented people that are potential to elevate, you can send them to this class and they will start to learn about what it takes to transition into management and how to be a leader and developing the leadership image. And it's also there for current functioning managers that can use the skill polish, and it's there for older managers as well. Each class is different. They can all be taken separately. They can be taken as a group. It's stackable certificates.
Creating an effective team. How important is that?
Essential.
Yeah.
It's absolutely essential. Developing your leadership style. It's important that if you're going to go and lead people, you're authentic. Because if you don't have authenticity in your leadership, no one's following you.
Right.
So it's important to learn all of these actual things as we go forward. So I think the first 4 classes are up on MCC's website, and you can actually start signing up for them now. But quite simply, it's a long-term series, and as I was telling you, Greg, earlier about the importance of having a pipeline of potential managers to come in, because again, some people don't recognize at the pace at which Kingman is growing, and we are having steady growth. That steady growth will translate into new commercial and retail ventures, and at that point in time, if we don't have a leadership pool, management team pool ready to go, managers will be sniped by new ventures coming in, and if you don't have your pipeline ready, there will be a void. We're trying to lessen the void. This isn't a difficult situation to see coming, so because it's predictable, it seems like we should take steps now to avoid the worst outcome.
Exactly, because you can see it coming.
You can see it coming.
There's rain clouds coming in, get an umbrella.
Yeah, exactly, and that's really what from the chamber's point of view, that's what this is. The college, I think they're focused on their training piece, which is what they should be focused on. That's what they do. SBDC, they're kind of in our ballpark to a certain extent too. They're there to help provide services for a lot of those new ventures coming in. So sometime we ought to have Lisa Card come in and talk about her program.
Oh, she is
because
so awesome.
She is pretty awesome.
Did she really help me
So,
when we were
Things that we
getting
should
into
point out here. For clarification, you mentioned transition.
Yeah.
This isn't the type of transitioning you've been hearing about in the news, Caitlyn Jenner, things of that nature. It's something totally different. And
Oh, sorry.
and
I can make that stuff up.
and you mentioned certainly leadership. And a lot of times people confuse that with leadership being the key is sincerity. Once you can fake that, the rest comes easy. This is a little bit different. This is more serious, and this is something that's really needed here.
Well, and authenticity, it's essential. It's foundational. If you have authenticity, you can accomplish so much. Because even if people disagree, but you're authentic, they might help you anyway.
Right, if you're sincere.
They
Exactly.
disagree with you, but they know that once you make a decision, that you're going to carry it out.
Right.
And you're going to be stable. You're going to be authentic on what your plan is, and you'll carry it out. You complete your task, and boom, there you go. Whether they agree on how you're doing it or what you're doing, then they see completed projects, and they're like, okay, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
The idea is to try to get people on the same, rowing the boat in the same direction.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I mean,
Even if generally.
we don't have to, like each other, don't have to wake up in the morning.
That way.
We gotta live together. We gotta figure out how to move this thing forward.
Absolutely, and and in today's climate and things like that, where if you don't disagree with me, I'll destroy you type situation. That's just goofy. That's spoiled children.
It is.
Exactly what it is. It's just spoiled children. And being able, and part of the leadership is being able to see your goal, bring people in to help you complete the goal, and then once the goal's completed, as a good leader, you should give credit to the people that came in and helped you with it.
Amen.
Right, because that's a whole team.
It's a team effort, and you've got to be able to have enough internal fortitude to sit there and say, okay, Gregg is the one that came up here and helped me get this thing done by all his work and promoting and things like that. Same way, just everybody involved is one. I just happen to be the one that took the arrows.
Yeah, exactly. You're the one who got the nasty emails. Yikes.
The information on this will be on the chamber website and the college?
I believe it's on both. It should have come out in our weekly newsletter if you read it.
Me too.
So, thank you. So it's out. It's out there.
Thank you.
This is a little premature, but I've also been working with the college, putting together a program to help train people about how to tourism, the history of Kingman, how we translate that, how we welcome our international guests, and how we make people feel welcome here.
Well, if you don't know how to do it, nobody does.
Instead of giving directions to offline.
Exactly.
And once people, and here's something else about history, once people learn the history of the area that they're in, visiting and things like that, then they take pride in it. Because what it takes to build something, then you say, oh man, this guy lost his leg doing this or whatever, and then he's still rocking and growing and still working and things like that, and then you take pride in the fact of what people believe in and accomplish.
Well, absolutely. And it's essential that we get our hospitality frontline staffs understanding the context of what Kingman truly is.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have that, when I go into a new place, I frequently talk to the hotel staff and say, hey, what is there to do here?
Right.
That's a wide open invitation of what should I see while I'm in this location?
Well, you're only 30 miles from Laughlin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That is not the right answer.
No. But this everything we're doing here now, I really feel that Kingman is finally coming together.
It is.
We've been running this thing like a three-legged horse race, and it just doesn't work.
That's right.
And with this, what the chamber's doing now, what you've got going with the fairgrounds, with the college, we've got going with the city, the programs, things are starting to be integrated. Things are starting to come together and work together.
Well, and let's face it, Tim and I started partnering, my second week? No, my first week on the job.
First week on the job.
And the fact is, I like to think we have a pretty good relationship.
We do.
So
Right up until February with his new event.
No.
That's not done, that's not set in stone, but it should prove to be interesting.
And what's that, Tim?
Well, I have been approached, and we are in doing contracts right now for Dwarfomania.
Dwarfomania?
Dwarfomania.
I'm intrigued. What is that?
It is Dwarf Extreme Wrestling.
Okay.
Same look I get from everybody.
Incredulousness?
It is
Wait, what?
Dwarf Extreme Wrestling. They have, I can't describe it any better than Dwarf Extreme Wrestling.
Everybody,
I hear that's a pretty small market.
And see, I just want this is a perfect example, folks. You say we don't have class and culture in Kingman.
Yes, they do say that.
But it's just something, we were discussing it earlier, and this is not, like I said, we're working on a February 2nd date, and they'll come into town, they put on one show, or one wrestling match. They're on the inside of the expo center at the fairgrounds. And it's one of those things, I've told somebody yesterday about it, and first is a look of concern, then it becomes what is that like? I've got to pay, I've got to go in here and see what it's like.
I'm intrigued,
And,
absolutely.
So I went on their website and showed it looks like regular professional wrestling, and the full ring and things like that. Only it's dwarves.
It's a smaller version.
Smaller version of it. And these guys are ruthless, and they travel with each other. I mean, they get down and dirty.
Wow, this sounds like a lot of fun. And everybody, there's so many different types of people on the planet.
Absolutely.
They should all be celebrated.
Exactly.
So why
These
not?
people have
Why
figured
not?
out a way to make a good living doing this.
And having a lot of fun.
Having a lot of
Meeting
fun.
new people.
Yep. And traveling all over the United States doing this stuff.
Incredible. Good for them.
What else you got there for us, Mike?
Well, just to follow into February happenings at the fairground, we'll go ahead and hit that piece right now. We have our annual Hollywood Wine and Cheese event.
Yeah, I love those.
Good. Well, buy tickets. Hey, we have a sponsorship available for you too. Speaking of sponsorships, Linda Owens is handling our sponsorships for the staff. So if you're interested in that, by all means, contact her directly. But this year, we're moving from what was Beal Celebrations to our fairground location for this. The parking's amazing and the room dresses up very nicely. Our theme will be Vintage Hollywood. So we have an auction company bringing in themed objects, I believe. So there will be plenty of opportunity to enjoy yourself for the evening. We're trying to focus on Arizona wineries for our wine supply this year. There's just a lot to it, so come on out.
That's in February.
Last year,
I think it's
when
the
I was
23rd.
serving wine, people came around just to hear me pronounce the different wines. For some reason, they got a kick out of Pinot Noir and things like that.
And he's back this year.
I'll be sure to wear my overall jumpers.
In answer to your question, Tim's not from Australia. Vintage Hollywood, we could really help you out and have some fun with it. Kingman has an incredibly rich Hollywood history. Buster Keaton and Harry Carey and all these guys. 1918, 1920s, Will Rogers, Clark Gable, Carol Lombard, Pamela Anderson being arrested for indecent exposure. We got it all over.
That's right. And there's a great deal of that at the museum too, a lot of the stuff that they did, especially, and Jim brought that up, but what about the stars that trained out at the airport for World War II? The bomber pilots and things like that as well. So there's a lot, and then a lot of Hollywood people just came over here to get away from Hollywood.
Well, I can't say it's
No, can't blame them at all.
So that's going on, but we will have to partner to see what we can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now tonight we have one of our members, Thunder Road, is doing their Toys for Tots drop. So if you're out tonight and wanting to participate in Toys for Tots, please go to Thunder Road. If you miss it tonight and you need a place to drop,
What time is that?
2 to 6.
Oh wow, 2 to 6. And then right after that, from 5 to 7, over at the Art Hub, they're having an event where they're there are artists there going to do the whole thing. So
Yeah, it's our whole First Friday thing tonight, right?
is it?
No, not First Friday, but
No.
it's just an art hub.
Is it
Yeah.
not it's the First Friday though, right?
Right.
Yeah, but that's,
Oh,
They're not doing that in the winter.
no.
oh,
it's-
duly
it's-
noted.
I was going to talk to somebody at the chamber about that. They have the whole schedule.
So what's really difficult is if there are organizations who do events, but they don't bother to tell us.
Yeah.
It
It's
happens a
hard.
lot, right?
It really
That was
does.
Greg.
Now, it is
By the way,
Greg.
your chamber membership, didn't I tell you that just went up?
For some reason, mine's 10% more than everybody else's now.
And rising.
But that's one thing it is, a lot more communication between the different.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more communication between the different groups and things like that than there used to be.
Communicating initiatives.
Exactly.
Right.
And now that we're
Yeah.
partnering with that as well,
Exactly.
there's more we can do, there's more we need to do. but-
Absolutely, there's always more you can do.
But the fact is, there are steps being taken, and it's good to see these
Yes.
things developing. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple other quick things coming up. We have our evening mixer coming up on Friday, December 13th. Is that really Friday? I thought it was Thursday. It's
Thursday,
Thursday
yeah.
the 13th. I'm gonna have to get with that one. Improve my notes. Anyway, from 5:30 to 7:30, we have our evening mixer at Martin Swanee Hot Dog over at.
When is that one?
That's the 13th.
Okay, and is Garrett Baldy
I
catering
believe
that
he's
one?
catering that, but I don't know that for certain.
Luigi.
You leave that
awesome.
man's place hungry, it's your fault.
Yeah, you do that yourself.
It is your fault. That man can cook, there's no
That's
doubt about
amazing.
that.
All right, we have our morning mixer coming up on the 20th, 7 a.m. At the Desert Highlands Care Center at 1081 Kathleen. This week, we ended up doing a ribbon cutting and open house at Harmony Hospice.
Where's that?
It is right behind In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's on the back side of the building behind it.
Oh.
So I drove right by it the first time and parked at the dentist office, which is right next door. It worked out great.
That did work out.
But nice facility there. You should stop in and check out those folks. They don't do the services on site. It's all in-home hospice.
Oh, wow.
But that's where their offices are, and it's, you know, it's nice to have that facility here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And they seem to be doing well right out of the gate. So, we have another member event coming up on Saturday the 15th, and that is our friends at White Cliff Senior Living. They are doing their Mingle Jingle holiday boutique event that goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Note that we also have the farmers market going down here. So naturally, you should go to both.
yeah, absolutely. Lots of
Santa
stuff.
Claus will be doing a magical thing and appearing at both at the same time. I think that man's pretty talented.
He is. He's old enough to have learned many skills.
Absolutely. So we give them both high marks. And they are also doing a canned food drive for the food bank. So please feel free to pop, some canned goods there. And the other thing that we did recently, although some members of the community thought we were late in doing this, but the day before the Christmas parade, we had a lighting, I guess tailgate is probably the better way to put it. I would say ceremony, but that just isn't quite a great descriptor. But for the tree on Radar Hill, that's lit up now. We had about 50 people come and show up and, be part of that. We did, the typical coffee, cookies, hot chocolate. And we didn't know if there would be 6 of us standing in the parking lot, but no, it turns out that we're. So next year we'll probably be doing that. There are some people in the community that feel it's supposed to light up the Friday after Thanksgiving. I didn't know coming in that was, tradition. What I loved was talking to people who've lived here for decades saying, I I didn't know there was a specific date. It just sort of turns on at the beginning of the season. And I think that's going to continue to be the trend.
Yes. Jim Federico said that KCA is having an art opening tonight at 208 Beale, the Kingman Center for the Arts. Oh, wow.
There you go.
The Kingman
Perfect.
Center
Jim.
for the Arts. And it's winter holidays, December 7th through the 22nd, Community Artist Celebration. Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 3, 208 East Beale Street.
Wow, terrific.
And that's perfect lead in. For those that don't know, the chamber offices do pop-up art galleries. Currently, KCA is our exhibit that's going on in there. There's a couple of Paul Herbergs in there. There's some great art at the chamber. So you should all come in and see that. And we should talk sometime, get some of your stuff on.
Yeah, oh my God, I'm 5.5 months behind on all of my stuff I have to do now.
Good, because I want to plan ahead.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's going to be my goal in 2019, right there.
What's that?
To get caught up, so I'm only 5 months behind.
Yeah. You're never going to catch up.
I want to be dead a week before I even do it.
And I guess the last note I have here, and this comes from my staff member Linda. She's working with Rotary. They do the Rotary Festival of the Arts. I believe that's the Mother's Day craft event. They are looking for vendors, so if interested, they should call Linda at 716-5237.
Very good. What do you got, Mr. Tam?
Right now at the fairgrounds, it's a little slow. We finished the fair, of course, and it turned out to be a very nice fair. We did a lot of things different that worked well. We did some things that failed miserably. But we learned from it, and so changes again will happen again next year.
It's an evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. But we continue to clean, fix. Those that have driven by the fairgrounds have noticed that a couple of things are missing that's been there for 25 years.
That place looks amazing.
It's really starting to clean up nice. Of course, got the guys out there winterizing, making sure everything. Didn't even really plan on this. With National Finals Rodeo going on in Vegas and all stalls and everything else is full in Vegas, we've become a nice overflow for people traveling to Vegas to compete, things like that, the National Finals Rodeo and the other events that are going on. We probably had about 40 horses and campers and things like that.
Because
that
we're
stop
pretty
here in
close.
Kingman,
Yeah.
and then go up on the day that they compete up to Vegas, because we're an hour and a half away.
Right.
Everything is cleaned up nice to where we're getting a nice reputation with the horse and competition. We're working with the Kingsman and Arizona and Kingman Junior Rodeo, where we'll have almost an event every month. The Kingsmen are putting on a barrel racing once a month to where, and they're getting the classes, they're getting accredited, they're getting everything to where people can actually qualify for world championships come to Kingman.
Oh, wow.
And so that's coming in. We're doing every kind of event that people are calling about. We're really working hard to get something going there every weekend.
Folks, if anybody's not familiar with rodeo, barrel racing isn't as boring as it sounds, because racing a barrel would be pretty slow. That'd be worse than watching golf.
Exactly. But the barrel racing, like I said, it'll be fully accredited. Where they're talking about added money that would also bring in. The last added money barrel racing they had over 2,000 entries.
Wow.
And so the Arizona Junior Rodeo, which is age 5 to 18, coming in, they'll be back in April. That brought in around 2,500 people to Kingman for 3-day events. So these are not little events and things. It really has an economic impact on Kingman just doing these 3-day rodeos. And as we've fixed up the rodeo arenas now to where we actually have the most improved rodeo arena in the southwestern part of the United States.
Outstanding.
But that way you can go out there, do an event, and do it safely, and for your kids and the horses and everybody involved.
We've talked about this before, but we haven't had a chance to really follow up on it much. But doing anything with the caverns out there, since they've got their rodeo grounds all done, and everybody
love to.
start doing some events out there.
Do events out there at the caverns as well. They do. From what I have not been out there to see the arena since I did a lot of work to it, but absolutely that would be. And then you start a circuit going, and once you get your circuits going, that gives, especially the tri-state area, a place where they could go every weekend, every 2 weeks, whatever, and qualify. The main thing is getting it all qualified and accredited to where you can go for a national championship in different groups and things like that. Because team sorting right now, they have national championships in Oklahoma that pays over $100,000 for winning. And so, but you have to win a certain amount of money to qualify for these kind of things. So there's a lot of people that it's really started working, and that's just on the rodeo, horsemanship, equine side. The expo center, we've got it really looking nice, and we're doing events with the Chamber of Commerce, all kinds of events. We're trying to sell out an event a month. The cancer fair was outstanding. I mean, it was just jam-packed to the rafters. The vendors and everything, it was a huge success. And that was our last major event that we had out there so far this year. And like I said, the holiday season is a little bit slow because people have the holiday things that they're
Right,
doing.
a million obligations.
Exactly right. And so, and that gives you time, you know, especially in the weather like today where you can get in, clean up, do things, work on things to get it ready for next year.
And it feels good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
How great did it feel getting those trailers out of there? Holy moly.
Tearing that one down was, we were going to make an event of it, and then we decided not to.
You should have.
Well, we thought about it, but we didn't know what was underneath it when they started tearing it down. So they wasn't around running for their lives.
Is that a skull?
We're there for a long, long time. But getting it all cleaned up, and then we're working on entranceways coming into the fairgrounds itself as well. But like I said, we're going to do a lot of new construction. We're putting together a CapEx fund right now on different things we plan on building out the fairgrounds. Make people proud of it again.
Amen.
I'd love to put stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk about
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have an idea.
Good. And you know, just make people proud of it. That's the whole thing. And once you start cleaning it, and this isn't just the fairgrounds. This is an entire area.
Yeah.
Once people start going in there and they just start fixing things up just for the sake of fixing things up, the pride comes in, and then you start really attracting people because you're proud of it. You're talking about it.
That's right.
It's the same with everything we're doing down here in the Stroud District. And everything.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you for doing this. And Greg, it's good to see you again.
Good to be seen.
Mr. Kingman.
That's awesome.
He got that name at the Christmas parade. He comes driving up in his extremely sporty vehicle.
A little tiny fire truck, the Shriners.
But the Christmas parade was very, very good. We like froze to death, but it was a very, very good Christmas parade.
How many people do you think were there?
Oh, there had to be several thousand.
There was.
I mean, it was, with the extended route that they did, it wasn't as crowded, you know, just on Beale Street and things. It just turned out really, really well. The bands were good, had more floats, more entries than ever before over 65.
Wow.
So,
We need to thank Scott McCoy too for that.
Absolutely.
Pushing that idea for the lighting, the locomotive.
The Gold Doctor. Yeah, he's incredible. He's done a lot.
The locomotive park is looking well. I will say this, to a little brag, the fairgrounds bought 15 back sets of lights to donate out there.
Holy moly.
That's right.
Fantastic. Because it's not just about one thing in this town. It's about the town.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is no one thing.
No.
We are a combination of a lot of different things, and in some respects it can make it more difficult to market because you don't have that one little bite. I mean, Route 66 is obvious, but all of the Western beauty is obvious. And there is no one thing. And
Yeah.
it's your greatest blessing and your biggest curse.
It's true. And Route 66, like you say, it's obvious, but it's not obvious to the people who live here. And is that why you're going to do your teach classes?
Well, yeah, we want to create awareness, but more than that, we need to take this to a step so people can talk to these people, so they can relate to them, so they can provide information, and keep people.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things right now, with all the things coming together, we're running out of page space in order to advertise what's going on in Kingman. The days of people saying, well, there's nothing to do here, are dead. They're over. There's always something to do here in Kingman. Always.
It's like, what, were you in a coma? Did you just wake up?
That takes us to next week. Next Friday morning, we're going to have some folks here. We're going to be talking about everything that's going on the 15th downtown. We've got all kinds of neat stuff going down. We have a nice thing going at the Railroad Museum. I'll be doing a walking tour downtown, and then they've got Kingman Main Street first inaugural cookie crawl downtown.
What time does your walking tour start?
3 o'clock at the Railroad Depot. And then we've got special chilling on Beale. And we're decorating their cars and bringing them downtown on the afternoon of the 15th from 4 o'clock. And they're collecting toys and jackets for local kids. So it'll be next week. Then downtown again, another fun-filled episode.
That'd be great. And that's on the 15th?
Yeah. What are you doing now, Greg?
All kinds of stuff. I was just interviewed by Shannon Llewellyn, who's one of the artists over at the Art Hub now, and she'll be at that event tonight. And she writes for a magazine called Etched. And so she just interviewed me, she interviewed Jim Federico, and it's about local artists. And that magazine is all about the Southwest. And there's no advertisers in it. It's all, it's like a coffee table magazine. It's very cool. And it would be great if she had interviewed you guys for these things, because just what you're doing with the fairgrounds, Tim, is absolutely amazing. And obviously, the enigmatic Jim Hinckley, that goes without saying that he should be interviewed for a magazine about the Southwest and about Route 66.
Absolutely.
He doesn't know just about Route 66. He knows about everything.
Oh, everything in this town. That's
It's almost
for sure.
spooky.
Tell me where to go, that's me. And I got one more before we wrap this up. I'd be remiss. They're having a big celebration in Cuba tomorrow. Christmas Village, Santa Claus, and Christmas Parade. And you don't need a boat, it's Cuba, Missouri. So, good activities. Guys, thank you for doing this today.
If I might,
And we good to see Greg again.
Thanks. And just one more thing. I talked to the lady who makes the King Monopoly games in Ohio, and they're making more of them right now.
We were looking for those the other day. They're sold out.
Yeah, because I can explain the whole thing to you, because I've been in touch with her the whole time, because I was like, there's Giganticus on here, So she, so they were only expecting to do a run of 350. Then they had, they sold out instantly. Then they had another order of 500, and they've been doubling the order, and they've had to order 5 times already, and they can't keep up. They can't keep up. There's such a demand for King Monopoly games. They've sold out the first 350 in a day.
Can I, just one simple question, why did you buy all those? No.
What am I going to do with all these?
For Christmas presents. They're perfect party.
Guys, thank you for doing this.
Jim,
No problem.
really
Be
quick
anytime.
enough,
Yeah.
and it's a bit of a somber note, but it is December 7th.
Pearl Harbor.
And
Pearl Harbor Day.
It is Pearl Harbor Day, and I think that gets lost in a lot of the thought process, especially when you get past certain generations. And I just think it's worth taking a second to remember.
We can take it a step further, because we just lost President Bush. And whether you like the guy or not, that's beside the point. But a lot of people don't, they probably do now because there was so much on the news about the man. But, I think he was just short of his 20th birthday when he was shot down in the South Pacific during the war. And then, of course, seeing Bob Dole, at the funeral. That's definitely the end of an era, but it's not something we want to forget. And tied in with that, Pearl Harbor, of course, is our Kingman Army Airfield. And
Visit Pearl Harbor.
guys, thank you for doing
Thank
this.
you.
We'll have some fun next week, and we'll have fun today.
Visit Pearl. That didn't take long at all.